Tonight's video is about one of the most terrifying feelings anyone can experience. The moment you realize someone is following you. These are 4 scary true stories about being followed home at night. Story 1. It was late on a Friday night. I had just finished my shift at a restaurant, and the mall parking garage was almost empty. The kind of empty where every sound echoes. Your footsteps, the buzz of the lights, even the creak of your car door. As I walked toward my car, I noticed something. Footsteps, not far behind me. At first, I brushed it off, thinking it was another employee heading to their car. But the steps matched mine. Every time I slowed down, they slowed. Every time I sped up, they sped up. I reached my car and quickly unlocked it, glancing back. That's when I saw him. A tall man dressed in black, just standing in the shadows of a support pillar. He wasn't moving, but his head was turned directly toward me. I got in, locked the doors, and started the car. As I pulled out, I saw him step from behind the pillar, slowly walking in the direction of my car. And as I drove down the spiral ramp, he began to jog. I don't think I've ever driven faster in my life. But here's the part that haunts me. As I turned onto the main road, I glanced into my rearview mirror, and for just a split second, I swear I saw headlights turn out of the garage and follow. Story 2. This happened when I was in college. I used to walk home from the library around midnight, cutting through a quiet residential street. One night, as I was halfway home, I heard the sound of running footsteps behind me. I turned, expecting to see another student jogging. Instead, it was a man, mid-30s, wearing a hoodie. He wasn't jogging for exercise. He was running, but keeping pace with me. I crossed the street to test him. He crossed too. My heart started racing. I quickened my pace, and he did the same, never saying a word. I could hear his breathing getting closer. Finally, I ducked into the yard of a house and hid behind a bush, crouching low. That's when I saw him stop in the middle of the street. He turned his head left, then right, scanning the area, like he was hunting me. I stayed completely still, barely even breathing. After what felt like forever, he walked off toward the end of the block. I didn't move until I was sure he was gone. And when I finally made it home, I locked every door and window. But the image of him standing there searching will never leave me. Story 3. I live in a small town, and one night after hanging out with a friend, I was driving home around 2 a.m. The streets were empty, except for one car. I first noticed it when I made a right turn. The car behind me made the same turn. At first it didn't seem odd, until I turned again, and every single time, the car followed. I slowed down to let them pass. They slowed too. I turned onto my street. They did too. Now I was panicking. Instead of pulling into my driveway, I drove past my own house and looped around the block. Sure enough, the car followed the entire way. Finally, I pulled into a gas station that was still open. The second I did, the car sped past. But here's the terrifying part. As they went by, I caught a glimpse of the driver. He was leaning across the passenger seat, staring directly at me, with the biggest, most unsettling smile I've ever seen. Story 4. This last story happened to my cousin. She was taking the train home after work, and by the time she got off, it was close to midnight. As she walked out of the station, she noticed a man on the opposite platform staring at her. She tried not to look, but every few seconds she could feel his eyes burning into her. She started walking down the street, and within a minute, she heard footsteps. She turned around, and there he was. The same man from the station. He had crossed over and was following her. She pulled out her phone and pretended to call someone, hoping it would scare him off. But he only walked faster. When she broke into a jog, he broke into a jog too. She reached her apartment building and rushed inside. Just before the door closed, she looked back and saw him standing right outside, staring through the glass. She ran up to her unit, heart pounding, locked the door, and called the police. By the time they arrived, he was gone. But for weeks afterward, Every time she left the building at night, she couldn't shake the feeling that he was still somewhere nearby, waiting. Those were 4 scary true stories about being followed home at night. Which story scared you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more true horror stories.